All right, hello. How's it going? Hello. All right, I'd just like to say a few words about a discovery I made in November 2007 regarding the Dark Side of the Rainbow movie, film, music sync, The Wizard of Oz, a 1939 movie. If you put the sound down and you replace the soundtrack with the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon album, it marries really beautifully. So anyway, I was watching it and listening to the soundtrack, and then after the album finished, 42 minutes, 43 minutes into the movie, it was very upsetting because there goes the Pink Floyd music. What do you do after that? You got all this movie without music. So what I thought to myself, I thought it can't be, because it can't just finish there. Surely there's more Pink Floyd music to finish the whole movie. Myself, if I was to put myself into a position of someone creative, let's say for argument's sake that Roger Waters or Pink Floyd, did it intentionally, which no one knows for sure, but let's say that they did it intentionally. They made the music of Dark Side of the Moon to marry to the first 43 minutes of A Wizard of Oz. Surely I'd say to myself, if I'd done that, I'd say, it's a job half done, and I'd love to finish it. It'd be a great thing. So I thought to myself, it's got to be somewhere. I opened myself up, psychically or something, and I thought deeply, and and what can I put in place, of this empty movie, empty soundtrack. And I thought about the red poppy, the flowers, the red poppy scene where the characters are running through the field and they get drugged and fall over, and I thought probably Comfortably Numb. The song Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd would fit really well there. And I tried it, and it was perfect. It was just the best marriage of music and film. And I thought, there it is. There is more Pink Floyd music that can go with The Wizard of Oz. So, and then, I thought, well, it's on the Wall album. Comfortably Numb is on the Wall album. So I thought, I'm going to go to the Wall album. It didn't work. It seemed not to work because, the songs aren't in order. This is what I thought to myself. I thought, maybe it's all on the Wall album, but in order for Roger Waters or whoever, or Pink Floyd or whoever is in charge of this project, I thought maybe they're trying to make it harder to find. Maybe they, for some reason. So they scrambled the order of the songs. So the songs are on the wall, but the order is scrambled. So much harder to find. And in fact, who knows how many thousands of people are trying to work it out. No one's worked it out yet. What I did around mid-November 2007, I pulled out the Wizard of Oz, DVD, and I got the double CD of The Wall, and I started to really focus in on it and try and nut it out and explore it and see it. And so anyway, I've written down some results, and what I realized was, bit by bit, if I did it, I ended up working it out. And this is how it works. After the Dark Side of the Moon's finished, around 42 minutes and 26 seconds, you got the Tin Man in the scene. And I thought, Tin Man. And then I looked at the song list on the album, and I thought, there's a song called Empty Spaces. And I thought, that's appropriate, Empty Spaces. The Tin Man's, got no heart, he's hollow inside. He's empty, and I thought maybe it works, and it did work. It's a 2-disc CD. Disc 1, track 8, Empty Spaces. And if you listen, you can hear this eerie metallic heartbeat sound in the song. It's fantastic. Anyway, when that finishes, at 44 minutes and 28 seconds, 44 minutes 28 seconds. By the way, all these timings perhaps are not exact to the second. They might be 2, 3, 4 seconds out. I'm not sure exactly, because it depends where you start the movie, you see. But at 44 minutes and 28 seconds, there's a song called Young Lust. Young Lust. It's disc 1, track 9. And this is where we find Dorothy. It's one young girl with 2 fully grown men, the Tin Man and the Scarecrow, and they're sort of walking along recklessly and drunkenly almost. It's kind of wild abandon, and I thought, it's kind of a young lust, we'll call it, and there's a cheeky lyric where, it says, I need a dirty girl and to make me feel like a real man. Unfortunately, the song needs to be faded out because it goes a little bit too long. It needs to be faded out at 46 minutes 08 seconds. Now, I think the reason for this, because 3 or 4 numbers, there are 17 tracks from The Wall, 17 altogether, that make up the rest of the soundtrack to Wizard of Oz. And I've got a feeling the few that need to be faded out, it's perhaps because the person in charge of this project, whether it be Roger Waters or more members, perhaps he didn't want the other chaps to know. And so what's happening is, they're playing a song and it fits really beautifully, but, he can't easily say, look, let's stop it right now, the scene's up, let's go to the next scene. So, he's probably figured, I've got it if I need it, I can just fade it out, there it is, So there are a few songs, I'll let you know. Okay, so the third song at 46 minutes and 8 seconds, 46:08, it's a song called One of My Turns. It's disc 1, track 10, One of My Turns. And this features some really cute, hilarious lip syncing where, Dorothy sounds like a band groupie, in awe of, look at all these guitars and things like that, It's very cute. This needs to be faded out because at 47 minutes and 1 second, we begin a song called In the Flesh. That's at 47 minutes and 1 second. It's disc 1, track 1. Now, this is very appropriately titled. This piece introduces the Cowardly Lion, which is a flesh eater, so it's in the flesh, right? When that finishes, this fades out by 51 minutes 21 seconds. 51 minutes 21 seconds, we begin a song called Comfortably Numb. 51 minutes 21 seconds. Comfortably Numb is disc 2, track 6. This track is perfectly appropriate, as I mentioned earlier.